Okay, welcome back. So right now we're going to check the post-production part of the process. This is the image. This is the final render output. Highly recommend save your rendering output at least 16 bits per channel. So in my opinion, that is enough information in order to apply a good post-production process, especially in Photoshop. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to drag and drop my reference, okay, inside here, just in order to understand better what I need to do. Okay, great. So I'm going to put it more or less in the center, and I think it's going to be better if I remove the borders here, right? So I only want to keep this, okay, just in order to be more precise. Sorry. Let me select again this. Okay, there you go. Create a mask, right click, convert to smart object. Okay, right, so the result is very similar but not exactly the same. And now I'm going to show you how to take the matching to a more accurate result. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this adjustment layer in Photoshop, call it selective color. Okay, so the selective color is going to allow me pretty much to match, the color and everything, related with the color and a little bit of the saturation sometimes. Okay, so as you can see, the selective color has pretty much the RGB and the CMYK, okay, plus whites plus neutrals. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just move the sliders. Okay, so I don't care here what number it is, as long I start to see a very similar color that I can see in the reference. Okay, so pretty much this is very intuitive. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time, just practice this. Okay, because we need to, pretty much what we need to do is educate our eye. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now I'm going to go to the yellows, and it's very simple. See, for example, it's not to the left and it's not completely to the right. I think it's something in the middle, something like this, I think. Like right now I'm just trying to match the yellow tones, the yellow color that I have in the reference, and the yellow tones that I have here in my render. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same with every single slider. Can you see? So this is not a good idea, for example. Also not this one, so I think it's probably, my opinion is around here. Okay, so that is what I'm going to start to do. Yeah, so far good. Okay, I think the greens looks very really similar. So for example here, I think I have an excess of light in the foreground. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to use like a gradient, an exposure. I'm going to put it under the selected color, and I'm going to create a mask. Okay, so I'm going to create like a mask. I'm going to play with a mask with a gradient. And the linear, I'm going to choose the linear gradient option, and I'm going to just, yeah, more or less, sorry, I'm going to enable the reverse, and there you go. And so now I'm just going to decrease a little bit here the gamma correction, in order to get like a very similar color from what I can see here. But the problem is I'm getting a more saturated color, as you can see. For example, here is very similar, but here looks very saturated in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hue and saturation. I'm going to just drag and drop the same mask by pressing Alt and the keyboard. Okay, pressing Alt and drag and drop the mask. Now in this iteration, I'm going to just desaturate until I can match. And right now, I reduce the excess of saturation, and I think right now looks more similar in comparison what we can see in the reference. Okay, so I think that is good. Okay, and finally for the sky, that if you compare the sky, it seems the dynamic range of the sky is really high compressed because the presence of the fog. Because in general terms, the more fog we are going to have in an scene, the less light is going to go through the fog, and that is the reason why the light looks really diffuse, especially in this one. So what I'm going to do, pretty much, I think, is I'm going to overpaint. This is a very classic technique in digital matte painting. So I'm going to create an empty layer. I'm going to select. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just overpaint here in Photoshop. So I'm going to select a soft brush. I'm going to sample this color, and I'm going to start to paint here like this until I pretty much I match the color of the sky from the reference. Yep, there you go. So here I have slightly different colors, so probably I can start with this one. Here is a little bit more greenish. Okay, so there you go. A little bit more. I'm just trying to overpaint by sampling the color directly and the reference. Okay, so don't worry if you overpaint a little bit more of what you need, because we're going to use like as a mask, and we're going to decrease the amount, so don't worry about that. Right, I think right now starts to look really nice. Okay, great. So now I'm going to add a mask, and I'm going to start to erase in a very subtle way. So I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Okay, so let's remove these a little bit. So the lower the opacity it is on the brush, the more subtle the erasing effect is going to be. Yep, there you go. Right now, it's looking great. I'm also going to turn on, turn off. Yep, there you go. Okay, so in this one also I'm going to add a little bit of red. So I'm going to use the curves to drag and drop, pressing Alt. I'm going to take the same mask, so I'm going to go to the reds. I'm going to increase a little bit of reds just at the bottom. Yeah, there you go. Cool, it's working good. So this is the reference. Oh, it's just a little bit, by the way. Yep, so I'm going to decrease the opacity. Yep, there you go. I think right now it's working really similar. Yeah, just a little bit. And finally we can just add a vignette in, so I'm going to do a non-destructive merge down by pressing on the keyboard Ctrl Alt Shift E. Okay, but before to do that, sorry, I'm going to just make it more subtle here, the affectation of this kind of fog by erasing little by little in the mask. This must be a very seamless effect in the rendering. Yep, there you go. Now I'm going to press Ctrl Alt Shift E. I'm going to convert into Smart Object because I'm going to apply a filter. Go to Filter. The collection is what I like to use for vignetting. Analog FX Pro 2. It's going to be the plugin that I'm going to use. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and use lens vignetting. Yep. Right, I'm going to put the attention center here in the building, and now of course I'm going to just be very subtle with the mount. Yeah, something like this, for example, I think might work good. Yeah, there you go. Right now it's looking good. Great, so I'm just going to raise a little bit excess in this area. And there you go. Right now it looks very similar. I have the same amount of green color here, also here, and there you go. Now basically it's done. Yeah, so the only thing that I'm going to do probably is I'm going to use the selective color. I see a little bit of red in the shadow, so I'm going to go to the selective color, and I'm going to use the same mask here. So I'm going to drag by pressing Alt. Okay, so this is going to affect only the bottom, and I'm going to go to the blacks, and I'm going to add a slightly reddish color, exactly like the reference. Yep. And this is affecting mainly the dark tones. There you go. Yeah, looks good. So now I'm going to once again press Ctrl Alt Shift E, and this is Ctrl Alt Shift E, and this is going to be my final image. Okay. Right. So let's compare the before and after, and now let's compare it with the reference. And there you go. Okay. So once again, I think the important part of this tutorial basically is be sure that the reference that we're going to select has this harmony in terms of color. That is pretty important. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learn new things, new techniques during all in this video tutorial. So I would like to say thank you for your time, and I hope see you in the next video tutorial. Bye.